but I can.
Really, really like calm. Okay, then I'm fine.
Okay, Leah, we're live.
You're muted.
Should we still wait another minute until everybody's here? Okay.
Leah, I just let you decide when you want to start.
Okay. Well, since we're short on time, maybe let's start this whole thing. So hello again, everybody. Thanks for joining this inspirational talk again here on our VersusVirus platforms. We will be discussing insights on mentoring right now for the next 30 minutes. And I am Leah Grüter, and I'm here because I'm going to be moderating this panel, but also because I'm really curious to learn about best practices on mentoring from our experts, since I am not only the moderator here, but I am also a community builder at the Impact Hub Zurich, where I facilitate collaboration and knowledge sharing normally. So yeah, this is going to be very inspiring, I hope. But also as background info for you, our hackathon has now been running for more than 30 hours already. So our teams are all confronted with various challenges, questions, and needs. And to support them on their journey, we have invited more than 500 experienced mentors from very different backgrounds and skills. And it's really amazing that they're supporting us here. And yeah, I'm really happy that right now I'm here with yeah, some of them. I think we have 6 now of these wonderful mentors in this call. And yeah, so that we all know who is here present right now, I would like you to all introduce yourselves with your names, with your profession, and in which field you give advice during this hack. And please keep it very brief so that we can all share. Thanks. Fritz, do you want to start?
Yes, sure I can. My name is Fritz. I'm working at day 8 in the innovation area. And on this hackathon, I'm supporting on the team and leadership, teamwork and home office area, and also on the economic impact. Yes.
Okay, Neil.
Hi there, Neil B. Croft, so founder of Pura Worka. I work in business innovation and sustainability, and also for B Corp as a leader. They're mentoring for after the crisis, and fantastic to be here with you all today.
Thank you, Neil. So maybe Antje next.
Hi, I'm Antje. I'm from Germany here, and it's a great pleasure to be here. I'm the mentor lead of the categories hospital care and mental care, and yeah, everything with healthcare, I think. I'm a change management consultant in my business life, and I have a lot of things to do with civil protection.
Thank you, Antje. I'm passing on to Gerhard.
Hi, so thank you so much for having me. I'm a member of the Swiss Parliament from the Greens, so I was a political mentor. Of course, I also chose 2 fields. One was dissemination prevention and the other economic impact. But I have to say, I was just like dancing around. I didn't really stuck to my focuses, so I've been like all over the place. Like professionally, I'm co-founder of a software company called Leap in Switzerland. So I'm quite used to this kind of challenge, how to do things with tech in order to like make things more smooth.
Great, thank you, Gerhard. And giving to last but not least, Marcel. Can you hear us? Yes.
Hi, everybody. My name is Marcel. I have been, and basically I was responsible for setting up the mentoring with amazing team of 5 people in total. So it has been a hectic week, and I'm just very grateful that we participants, but also to the audience.
Great. I think I think maybe Marcel, we have to check on your internet connection, but yeah, let's move on from that. Just as a heads up for our spectators now, you can post questions and I will try and include them into this discussion on the go. But let's start with an insight. We all are curious on how the participants are doing. You have been in closest touch, I guess, from outside perspective. So how is the general mood right now? How are the hackers doing? Can you maybe share, Neil?
Yes, so I think for everyone it took time, but that's the magic of it. I was saying that in the Swiss-French part of it, it's how we do it. We do things organically. So for us, it's been working amazingly, and thanks for the work from both the organization, the participants, and the mentors. Took time to be put in place, but I think we can see it consolidating, and we can see participants coming to us to ask questions. Mentors are going out to the participants to input as well, so don't be shy. Go in the groups, go in your topics of expertise. And then I think one thing we're going to start working on is between mentors as well. How can we galvanize our strength in order to accelerate the recommendation flow? And that's what we're going to focus on in the next hours to come.
Anybody else wants to share how they feel?
I mean, it was just amazing to see how people just want to contribute. I mean, it's something great. Whatever the cause like here is, of course, the cause is great. But to see how people want to contribute, are willing to like find solutions together, are willing to like, do something that's bigger than themselves. It's just a great mood. I don't know if that feeling like was the same for everyone, but that's something I really found incredible, and I like that kind of move, that kind of groove in this sort of hackathon. So it's a good mood, I'd say.
So yeah, from my side, I only can basically underline what Gerhard is saying. So I really feel not only on the mentor side, but also on the participant side, this huge engagement of people. And even there is confusion in the beginning, because if you build something up like this in 10 days only, not for sure, not everything is clear. And even if it would be, not everyone would basically be able to get all the information at the first point. But everyone is really willing and asking and reaching out to people, and everyone who is reached, they are helping immediately and not sleeping overnight to just help others. And that's just really great to see. And also, like Neil is saying, it's forming over time. So you see where the biggest questions, they repeatedly come up. And so you're focusing basically on the biggest piles of issues you should resolve in the beginning. And that's good.
Yeah, I think it's a really busy beehive against Corona, against COVID-19, and it's really amazing to see the forming teams and the community, and people help each other and have good vibration, and try to find out how can they get a solution, how can they get video pitches, how can they do stuff like that. And it's so good to see people just want to do that.
So maybe on your roles as mentors, how do you yourselves contribute to facilitating these exchanges, or how do you facilitate that we can tap into this collective intelligence that we're building here?
So on the mentor side, we started collecting all those information and questions we got by other mentors into an FAQ, which really helped for most mentors also to give the same answers. Before was a lot guessing and helping and reaching out to others, but that really helped on one hand. And on the other hand, also a lot of mentors are reaching out in the channels now and say like, hey, I have this and this expertise and I'm really willing to help. And they are addressed by those teams, and the other way around. Some mentors I know, they reached out to teams directly, and even teams to teams are directly interacting with each other now. So this whole swarm intelligence is more and more building up a network of brains, which is really great to see.
Maybe I can add also from us. I mean, I could see this FAQ, for example, were onboarded, they just started to help each other. And I think for me, this is like really the vibes and spirits, because we had a huge mess yesterday onboarding so many people, and that was kind of the frustrating part as an organizer, to not be able to I had over 100 messages and it took me hours to go through. But beside of this, I could really rely already on this swarm intelligence. And that's just beautiful, and that everybody's trying to help
Sorry,
each
Marcel, your
other,
connection
even
is
if
really
things
bad.
are not clear.
Yeah, maybe Gerhard, do you want to add something to this about connecting the people here right now and all over Switzerland?
I mean, that's something that really amazes me, how that's even possible. I mean, just a decade back, that wasn't like, it wasn't possible this way. I mean, this kind of contact through video, that's a game changer. And the way how it scales, I mean, thousands of people are connected through these means. So that's really incredible. So how close we get. I mean, we had my colleague Isabelle Moret, she's the highest representative of Switzerland. She's just one click away. And I mean, that's great. That's really great. And people actually did that. They contacted people directly. I got contacted directly for very specific questions. For me, it was a bit easier because I didn't have so much at stake, like maybe the ones behind the scenes that had to set up everything. For me, it was quite easy to just give responses. I got really specific questions about how, as an example, the parliament works. How does the parliament do its daily job? So I could help out about these things, also about who is doing what right now in this crisis, because we have the Bundesrat, we have the parliament, and to explain a bit what's actually possible. And there's another thing, but I don't want to take too much space, but there's one other thing I've seen all over the place. There are good ideas around there, but it's hard to do something concrete, because the cantons, but also on the federal level, the technology isn't where it should be. We don't have interfaces to interact through machines with the government, because it's a lot about forms, PDFs, etc. And it's hard to do something when you don't have live real-time data accessible through machines, through apps and our computers. So it's hard to get access to that. So what I have seen were ideas where you said, okay, let's not bother too much about this black box, the government, because it's it isn't sort of a black box, but let's do the other part that we can handle. So do great apps, do great forms in order to make things easier for citizens, for companies, but let the government deal within how they process that data. But that's actually a big challenge. We should have more open data, more accessible interfaces in order to be able to interact in another way with our government. That's something I think that really was becoming visible through these past hours. We can't access how we could, how we should.
Maybe Maybe to add from my side there, because that's something you are telling there, and I guess it's not only on the governmental side, it's in corporate side, wherever. It sometimes feels that you're a bit in between a few thousand people, like on a concert, and the only ones you see are the ones on stage that are leading somehow, and you have contact with maybe the 5 or 6 people around you, and everyone else, you feel that they are there, but you cannot really interact. And maybe what we can learn from this whole hackathon is leveraging this whole online feeling now, that it even can bring out good things, and that we are nearer to each other because we can basically reach out to everyone and just ask for help and offer it. And everyone can get as visible as they want to, and they also get as visible as they should, because if they add value, then everyone is spreading the word, and you can reach out directly with one click, even to higher parliament people, which is a great thing.
And if I can add after Fritz, I think one thing we have underestimated is the network of the 5,000 people. And I believe we can basically reach anyone in Switzerland from any level within the private and public sector. So I think that's a strength to test prove your concept. So if you need to have an expert in any given field, whether it's within the 5,000 or outside, please reach out. I mean, we've had case studies from participants asking if they knew people at Hôtellerie Suisse, and it happens to be, I've got a big network, and one of the executive committee members has been called to input on one of the projects that is being developed. So feel free to ask these questions, and people outside are also willing to help. And I think that's a key strength we have to use.
And I think it's really important that we highlight those things. Those are really big achievements that we make here in this hackathon. So I think it's also very interesting if you can share more of these success stories that you have come across already. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a big success in Team 30. They built up a pump for long-term medication. It's really great, but as you can see, they do it with Lego Technic, and it's really interesting to see how they build it, and it's really great because it's do it yourself in 30 minutes, I think. Lego Technic for long-term medication in a hospital. Isn't that great?
It is indeed. Sorry, I was on mute. So yeah, great story. Great congratulations to that team. Anybody else want to share something that they came across?
So maybe that is hard to beat. It's a really great story, especially as I was a Lego fan when I was younger. But maybe it's also the small thing that really counts. And what I experience is that there's a big difference on also people reaching out to you what they want. I had a call with a group in the morning, which was really, like, I would say basic stuff, but really important stuff. They try to help managers, team leaders, Swiss-wide, in contacting more, like getting more in contact with their employees to see how healthy they are, how they are feeling, to really get connected with them. They're trying to build up a solution there, which could either be a bit tech supported, but they also think on very simple solutions and just sending out a link to an updated PDF so that they can add basically communication guidance for managers that are really having troubles now leading their employees out there in a home office world, and also asking how they are and how to change that. And there, I guess I could also add my experience. And then on the other hand, I was asked in another call, and there were people with knowledge, and I didn't understand a word what they were talking about, because they were so specialized. They were biologists and chemistry people talking about how can they filter out this virus out of water for countries that don't have a wastewater system. And they really try to support that, but they were lacking structure. So they basically are those two sides, which are really complicated or very simple, but they both make a really big difference, and that's great to hear.
So I think we're all motivated just to experience all of this journey and to be part of this. But when you were approached of becoming a mentor, was this a definite yes, I'm going to be in this, or did you have maybe also doubts?
Split second.
Yes, was immediately.
Yes, of course. I did the mentor thing in Germany for the hackathon in Germany via VersusVirus, and it was a really big thing there. And I think it's a lot of fun to do that. But the spirit is one of these things I will never forget in my whole lifetime, because it's like, okay, everybody is nice to each other. Everybody wants to support. There's no like racism or stuff like that. People want to do something. People want to help each other. And I think that's a big, amazing thing against everything which is not, which is exploding at the moment, because we can handle it with our men and women power, with our diversity. And so, yes, it's a really big thing and a big yes to do that.
Great, thank you, Martin. So you already just mentioned that we are not alone on this journey. No, this is an international movement. And I know that most of you have already been part as mentors in the other hacks. So Antje, you just said that. But yeah, let's maybe open this perspective and see where do we stand in comparisons to the other hacks? What learnings did you, were you able to bring from your previous experiences to this hack?
Maybe I can share something from, I switch off camera because of internet. So I was part of the Polish hackathon, and I think we were too bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, your connection is still very bad. I'm sorry, but I think for the user experience, for the sake of the user experience, let's have somebody else share.
I think one of the lessons learned in Germany is just relax, because it's a hackathon, and please remember, it's a hackathon. That means nothing is perfect. Anything is perfect. We just try to find solutions with people we never met before. So there is no way to be perfect at all, but that's not the point. We are here to find solutions. We are here to keep the ball in a roll, I think, and just have fun, just find solutions, and just go through this challenge, and make it for people, make it for your country, make it for against Corona. That's the point. We are here to do something. Just do it, and that's the point. That's the lesson learned.
Anybody else who was at another hack?
I mean,
okay.
I can add something.
Great, go ahead and add.
I mean, for me it was different, because like the first time I'm sort of on the other end, since I'm part of the parliament, so I was in a completely different role, because usually I was part of like teams that tried to develop something in the past, so that wasn't my role. So what I can only say, I mean, it just feels great. It feels great to be even as a mentor, even if you like to actually do something by yourself, it's also great to just be able to jump around and being asked, and for me it was a great experience, but it was completely different, because I was in another role this time, so I can't really tell how it was for the others on like the side I usually was in the past, but altogether I think it's great.
And I would propose, as part of this team building exercise, that once the corona is down, we have a face-to-face meeting, whether it's in Valais or where we all come by public transport, we drink local beer, and we celebrate this period we've gone through, and we build further projects in the years to come.
So you're
I mean,
now inviting 5,000 people to your home yard.
Welcome.
Great.
But
I will
completely
come. I
agree.
will travel to the Switzerland and will meet you. It's great.
So I think that the need for physical exchange is still there, for meeting people physically is still there. So yeah, what is your experience right now with this whole mentoring online? I mean, this is also a challenge to overcome, I guess. Yeah, what are you facing there?
I think one of the challenges as well is between mentors. So we are organizing a Zoom call at 5:15 between all the after crisis mentors, just to get to know each other as well, because we're not part of a team. Some of us have been asked, some of us are shy. So I think already having also this exchange between mentors from the same category is something we're going to work on. In order to, as I said, enhance the flow and gain strength in the hours to come.
Yeah, so from my side, it was, I would say the first impression was a bit shocking. So when I turned on the Slack the first time, and then I just put my phone beside for a few minutes and I looked at it, it was like 260 plus messages unread. And they just kept popping in. It felt like those celebrity Instagram accounts where just comments are flowing in all the time and you don't have a clue where to start, basically. And that's crazy because you have 4,000 or more than 4,000 people asking questions and no one knows. And it goes so fast that even if a question is answered, you don't see it because it's basically overrun by other questions or by maybe the same question, which is raised 10 times. And in the beginning, it was overwhelming, I would say. But I was impressed by how fast that changed. So it was very agile, that knowledge kind of somehow started to build patterns and structures, and people started to learn from the others, and people started to reach out to each other. So all this community thought of everyone's taking his part was working quite well, and that was impressive to see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure all the others in this call now were way more engaged than I were for this hackathon. I mean, I've seen what you've all done. I was like rather low profile because I have to admit I had so many things in parallel going on, media and stuff. So it was quite a challenge for me in this situation. Like we all are grounded in our apartments. We don't have this big house or this big apartment, and we are with a family. So it was quite of a challenge, I have to admit. And I would have liked to do more for this hackathon. It was a few hours. It was great, but I could have done so much more. But I couldn't, nevertheless.
Maybe we inspire other people to also organize hackathons somewhere else around this globe, and then you can be a more active mentor in there. Yeah, I should mention the hashtag help-ask-a-mentor channel on Slack. So yeah, if you are watching right now and you have an urgent question that you feel like you need advice on, then please reach out on that channel. So not only these 5 mentors here present, but the whole crowd intelligent of 500 mentors will be there to help you. So we have still 3 minutes left. So I would like to ask you, is there something you want to address either to the participants or maybe to people watching who are thinking about how is this even possible and a takeaway or something?
There's also a Google form that you can fill in to ask questions to the mentors. So I think that's also a great tool which compiles a lot of requests. So
Thanks,
that's
Neil.
also something we're working on.
Yeah, and I can just encourage everyone, be it participant or mentor, to be active. So I learned the more I'm active, the more I get out of this whole thing. So not only that I'm supporting, that's one great thing, but on the other hand, I'm also learning quite a lot. which is also great. So I'm just, you know, like I'm stunned by how reactive this whole system is. The moment you put something in, you get something out, and that's great, not only for yourself, but for the society, for everyone who is there. So be active, and don't be scared that if you reach out to people directly that they don't answer. So far, I have the complete different impression here.
So I'm just really thankful, and I just want to thank the crowd, because what you're doing is, I mean, it's important, it's relevant, politically even, and that's what I'm interested in nowadays, because we need new solutions, new ways of working together to co-create solutions, and maybe more than in the past. So I'm just really thankful and so happy to be part of this this whole thing, even though I did only a tiny part of it. So I'm really thank you.
Thank you, Gerhard. Antje and Neil, really fast, final words.
Thank you, all the people. Do that, because it's a really big chance for your whole country to get online, to get in a networking area, to get digital, to find out what the future is, and that's a great thing. So just do it right now.
Thanks, Antje.
Thanks to everyone, and my contribution will be to launch a group which will plan the after Corona face-to-face party. So welcome to join.
Thanks for those final words. Thanks everybody for joining. I think this was very productive and interesting panel. So keep on hacking and mentoring and participating in whatever way is possible. See you on the next channels. Bye.
Bye-bye.